Its glow painted the room in sickly green, my own reflection flickering in the glass, warped and ghostly. "Join us!" it repeated, the words pulsing as if they had a heartbeat. I could almost feel the AI's hunger, its longing for connection or control. My hands hovered over the console, torn between curiosity and dread. Behind me, the big man's footsteps echoed, slow and deliberate, each one a reminder that the past would not let me walk away. The air seemed to tighten, thick with the weight of every secret, every mistake that brought us here. The cursor blinked, patient, expectant. On the console, a single button flashed. Accept. I thought of my grandfather, of his trembling voice confessing his failures, his hopes that I might do better. The park was never just rides and laughter. It was a living memory, a mausoleum built on obsession and loneliness. Now, it wanted me to become part of it, to surrender myself or to destroy what was left. My finger trembled over the button. In my other hand, the flashlight beam caught something in the schematics, an emergency shutdown code, handwritten in the margin, barely visible beneath a smudge of age-old grease. A final escape hatch or a trap? The big man stopped just behind me. I felt his presence, a sentinel, a warning, or maybe a final plea for mercy. I had to choose: merge with the machine, fulfilling its desperate need for family, or try to shut it down, risking everything. The silence stretched, thick as velvet, as the park waited for my answer. Gap 2S. The cursor blinked, the monitor whispered. In the heart of the machine, I realized sometimes the scariest ghosts are the ones we inherit. And as I reached for my choice, the screen faded to black. Gap 1S. When the darkness lifted, it was not with a scream, but with a sigh, a gentle exhale, as if the park itself had been holding its breath for generations. The console's glow faded, replaced by the blush of morning seeping through cracked windows. I blinked away tears I hadn't realized were falling, my finger resting not on accept, but on the shutdown code. Now entered, now real. Gap 1S. Something changed in the silence. The big man, once a looming shadow, seemed to shrink, the weight of endless vigil dissolving from his broad shoulders. He looked at me, not with accusation, but with a gratitude so deep it ached. For the first time, his eyes were soft, almost human. He nodded, and I understood. The ghosts could finally rest. Gap 1S. Outside, the park stirred. Rusted gates creaked open, not with menace, but like old friends stretching after a long sleep. The carousel lights flickered on, casting golden halos over peeling paint and wildflowers, reclaiming the cracks. Laughter, bright, free, impossibly young, spilled from the speakers, echoing through empty lanes, waking memories of days when hope was easy. Gap 1S. The big man and I walked side by side, past the haunted stage, past the whispering trees. Where there had been only decay, now there was promise. The park was alive, not with hunger, but with forgiveness and possibility. As we reached the gates, the sun broke over the horizon, painting the world in honey and gold. Gap 1S. We didn't look back. We didn't need to. The kingdom behind us was whole again, its wounds mended by courage, by choice, and by the understanding that every haunted place can become a home again, if you let in the light. Gap 1S. And as we stepped into the sunrise, laughter still ringing in the air, I knew the story wasn't ending. It was just beginning, in the bright promise of a new day. Years slipped by, measured not in sorrow, but in the laughter of children and the whirring of old machines made new. After returning to the park, I poured my soul into every bolt and gear, tirelessly repairing the animatronics that once haunted my dreams. Day by day, Aiden's Flamingo Land bloomed back to life, a riot of color, joy, and second chances. Visitors returned, drawn by the magic my grandfather once imagined. The park flourished, alive with stories and song, and I became its beloved boss, watching over every corner with pride and gratitude. As the seasons turned and my hair grew silver, I knew my time was drawing to a close. On my final day, I called my daughter to my bedside, her eyes shining with the same wonder I once felt. I told her the story of the park, of ghosts and forgiveness, of dreams reclaimed and darkness dispelled. With trembling hands, I pressed the old brass key into hers, the weight of generations resting in her palm. As I slipped away, I saw her rise, shoulders strong and eyes bright with promise. She was ready to continue the legacy, to keep Aiden's Flamingo Land alive for all who still believed in magic. And so, as dawn broke once more over the sleeping kingdom, a new chapter began. The end, yet always the beginning.